Is there any evidence to support opinions that boys who grow up in single-family households have a tendency to be more violent?
Now, I would not say that more violence. I would think more could be. Actually, let me not say that. It could be more violence. But when I think of like the emotional regulation, I'm thinking more of emotional outbursts. So they may cry or they may stomp or do whatever in that moment of emotional outburst, however we want to, more tantrum like behavior is what I'm thinking. Like, so tantrum like behavior, which could lead to, as they get older, tantrums could look like or could actually interact with physical altercation or more violent behavior because they have not learned to emotionally regulate themselves. Emotional regulation starts from the time when you're in a crib. This is why babies, sometimes we tell parents, you can't pick the baby up for every single thing. If a baby is crying, they have to learn how to self-soothe. They have to learn how to regulate themselves. Let them be able, whether it's a pacifier, whether it's they're in their bed playing by themselves, let them learn how to regulate themselves as an infant. Because when you get older, you may not always be able to have things your way. So if you're in an environment where you are constantly given your way all the time, or you're constantly made to feel like you're supposed to have your way, and this is not all the time, but often this does happen in households where if a mother feels, okay, he doesn't have his father or he's missing out on things, so they tend to give in more. And so the child feels like, I need to have my way all the time. And then when they don't get their way, when they actually go out into the world and they're interacting with other people and other people don't give them their way, it leads to these behavioral outbursts. How do these behavioral outbursts look as, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old? Not going to look the same as a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum on the floor. It's going to look as, if you hit me, I'm going to hit back. That becomes that physical altercation that you mentioned. And so I think it doesn't happen in a silo, like in a single silo. I think it have to look at all of the factors that impact that. And how does that emotional regulation build as they become an adult? When you have the balance of mom and dad, you need both. Yes, mom can baby the son and say, okay, this is my baby, blah, blah. But then you have the dad that says, hey, this is not acceptable behavior, son. You can't do this. You have to do, and however he finishes that. You need the balance of both. If you only have that one side, then it causes this emotional dysregulation where you only have that side where they're given that constant nurturing piece without having that piece of, you have to not